All right, we are looking at arguably two of my favorite phones already to start this year, the iPhone 17 Pro Max and the OnePlus 15. These phones are goated already, like I said, and man, it has been a blast to use these two devices side by side. I think that there is arguably a clear winner here, but these two phones are more similar than not. For example, you have this amazing industrial, pretty unibody looking design. I love this new OnePlus 15 and the new antenna lines with this new colorway. I think this is like a sandstone or a sandstorm type color. And I love this new camera island as well that OnePlus is using with their devices. And one thing with this OnePlus 15, this phone just feels so comfortable in the hand. Whatever this coating is, it's pretty soft and it feels great. I love the way it feels and I love the way this phone looks. I love those really thin bezels on this phone. The front glass just looks so beautiful on this display and it just looks so good and so clean. Let's turn off dark mode there so you can really see what that looks like. You have a pretty nicely cut camera cutout there, not too large, not too small. And like I said, you have these gorgeously thin bezels that just look amazing on this phone. So I think that for me, this is by far OnePlus's most beautiful looking phone they've ever made. And I don't even think that you can argue that. I like the way this phone looks so much more than the OnePlus 13. And then whenever you look at the iPhone 17 Pro Max, this is Apple's best phone they've ever made in terms of design as well. Apple has done a really good job here. I love how they went with that unibody aluminum design. I love this glass cutout for the MagSafe and all of the accessories that are able to be used on this phone with the magnets. I love this design. It is so beautiful. Look how striking that camera bar looks now. It just looks amazing. Whether you go with the silver, the blue, the cosmic orange, it doesn't matter. Apple did a great job here. And then same thing here on the front of this phone. This display is beautiful. You have that amazingly looking liquid glass. I think Apple did a really good job here. But whenever you look at the actual hardware, like the specs and everything that they put into these two phones, I love how OnePlus, they gave us a 7,300 milliamp hour battery, which is absolutely insane. And we'll talk a little bit more about battery life here in a second, but just talking about the hardware feat, this phone is so light and it has to be thinner than the iPhone 17 Pro Max. Yeah, I think it's definitely thinner. It's thinner, has a larger battery, and it feels lighter. I love how light this phone feels. So I think that they did a really good job there. Then whenever you look at the hardware of the cameras, Apple's cameras, you have those three 48 megapixel lenses on the back of this iPhone. I think that that's amazing. So, you know, these phones, they have the differences, right? And overall, you really can't go wrong with either one of these designs. I want to start with battery though, because that is such a huge topic for me. It's such a huge thing. It's something that every phone user will experience. If you have a bad battery or if you have a really good battery, how does the phone's charge and all of that good stuff? And let me start by saying this is the best Apple's done. I think it's easily the best Apple's done with their iPhone. For me personally, I can get all day and more with this phone. This battery is really good on this iPhone 17 Pro Max. I have no problems with the battery on this phone. I think for the majority of people, you're looking at 2 days of full usage on this iPhone 17 Pro Max, which is absolutely great for a phone, right? Yes, it is, but the OnePlus 15 does even better. For me, I am consistently getting 3 days of battery with this OnePlus 15. It is absolutely ridiculous, actually. It's hard to beat something this good. Battery. OnePlus 15, it's in a league of its own. We're talking 3 days of battery life for a tech guy. 2 days if I push it very hard. Not only that, this phone charges at 100 watts of juice. Absolutely crazy. The fast charging on this is insane. Now Apple, they did increase the fast charging on this iPhone. I use a 65 watt charger and I believe I get 40 to 45 watts consistently with this iPhone. And I love that. I think that it's great that Apple has finally done that with their phones, but it still can't compete with the OnePlus 15. The battery king for last year and this year has to go to the OnePlus OnePlus 15. Now, like I mentioned earlier, the OnePlus 15, look how beautiful that front screen looks. Look how gorgeous and fast and smooth and bright this front screen is. It looks amazing. But one of the downsides with this glass that's on this phone is, for one, it's softer. This glass I've scratched a lot sooner than I did with my iPhone 17 Pro Max, and I don't have a screen protector on it either. And not only that, but this phone is very, very reflective. So on the iPhone 17 Pro Max, you get that light coating of the anti-reflectivity. So I don't know if you can tell on video, but with me holding both phones in hands and looking at them, the OnePlus just seems so much more reflective. The reflections really reflect more on the OnePlus 15 than they do on the iPhone 17 Pro Max. So I do love that anti-reflective coating that Apple put on this phone. It's not the best anti-reflective coating out there on the market, but it definitely helps with your experience with this device. And not only that, but this iPhone 17 Pro Max on a typical use case gets brighter than the OnePlus 15. The OnePlus 15 actually holds its own in terms of brightness, but it is not anywhere near as bright as the 17 Pro Max for me. And that's indoors, outdoors, it doesn't matter. And that includes HDR performance as well. The HDR performance will be better on this iPhone 17 Pro Max. Now, one thing you have to look at, the display on the OnePlus 15 is 6.7 inches versus 6.9. And there are occasions where I'm watching content, I'm looking at YouTube videos, whatever I may be doing. On the OnePlus 15, the screen just feels smaller to me. And whenever you are watching content, whenever you are watching YouTube videos, TikToks, scrolling on Instagram, whatever, the OnePlus 15 screen just feels a little bit smaller to me. I know 6.7 to 6.9 is not that big of a deal for the majority of people, right? But whenever you're used to that larger screen, you can kind of tell it's just missing a little bit. Now that's something that's small. You know, most people won't even recognize or realize that. But once you get used to using both devices, the iPhone 17 Pro Max, that additional 0.2 inch screen does feel larger. So looking back here, let's go to one of my videos and let's look at the brightness and everything here. See if I can show you all the difference between the HDR quality. So I don't know if you can see this on camera, but the iPhone's screen looks much brighter. The colors look a lot better, a lot better. The white looks better. The color of the actual paint on the wood looks better. The wood itself looks better. The wood looks sharper on the iPhone than it does on the OnePlus. To me, the OnePlus just does not have as good of a screen as it does on the iPhone. Even here, yes, my facial expression is different, but on the iPhone, the screen does look better than it does on the OnePlus 15. From the brightness, the color reproduction, all of the above, the OnePlus 15 can't compete with the iPhone, unfortunately. Now, one area where I was very surprised with the OnePlus 15 was the actual audio quality. On the OnePlus 13, I was not a fan of the actual speaker quality or the audio quality that is produced through headphones. And on the OnePlus 15, they've enhanced that experience all around. The speakers on this phone sound crystal clear, they sound beautiful. Like the vocals, the mids, the lows, the highs, they all sound really good on this OnePlus 15. And that's one thing I noticed right away when I got this phone. So let's just play this clip here on both phones so you can hear the difference. Now, I'm not saying that the OnePlus 15 speaker is technically better than the OnePlus 15. I am just so glad that OnePlus is finally, I'm not saying that the OnePlus 15 speaker is better than it is on the iPhone 17 Pro Max. I'm just glad that OnePlus finally has a phone that sounds just as good as an iPhone, and that also includes any other phone that's on the market. So let's go ahead and turn this up just for a second so you can hear the difference. I know this is a very generic test, but dramatically. With my last Galaxy S25 Ultra review, I was pretty harsh on this phone, and honestly, I should have been. Dude, that sounds amazing. I hope that comes through on camera, and then let's just play the same clip with the iPhone. It's changed dramatically. With my last Galaxy S25 Ultra review, I was pretty harsh on this phone, and honestly, I should have been. So the iPhone at the highest volume actually sounds a tiny bit less clear, but the actual volume and everything is still louder on the iPhone. But yeah, OnePlus, they are very, very close, and I'm very excited to see that. Let me know down below what you guys think with the audio and the visual quality, if you can tell through camera. But yeah, look how thin those bezels are. Look how small that camera punch hole is. I think that's like the perfect size camera punch hole. I think it looks amazing. I just wish that this had an anti-reflective display and it was a little bit brighter. OnePlus would be at the very top of the food chain. But it's pretty close. I think it's very close. I don't think you will notice a lack of polish jumping from this phone to this phone, or an older iPhone as an example. And then that's what it looks like on the iPhone. And then we have to look at the cameras. Cameras on the OnePlus 15 are actually better than I expected. I am actually shocked by how good the cameras look. They don't look bad at all. They look pretty dang good. From the photo taking to the video taking, the cameras on this phone are actually pretty good, and that shocked me. It really did. I really enjoy the cameras on this OnePlus 15, but whenever you look at the iPhone is just king in a multitude of different ways. So for example, you jump to that front-facing camera, you have those new front-facing camera abilities where you can zoom in and out of the frame, or you can change it to landscape. You can actually record yourself, either landscape video or portrait video, using this feature. So if I wanted to record myself and loop it into like a YouTube video and keep this format, I can do that without turning the phone, if that makes sense. So the cameras are quite revolutionary on this iPhone. The iPhones has a higher resolution cameras as well, all across the board. Apple, they are just so hard to beat in terms of the cameras that, you know, it's not really a comparison. But to be fair, like I said, the OnePlus 15 actually has really good cameras, and I don't think you will be disappointed necessarily with the photos and video quality that comes with this phone. So I was honestly quite surprised by some of the quality I got using this OnePlus 15. It looks pretty dang good in a lot of situations. Whether you're taking videos or taking photos, OnePlus has come a long way, and it's not as bad as what people are saying, not at all. Some of the photos just look crazy good on this phone. But yeah, if you are an insanely, like if you're somebody who really needs a really good camera and videos, definitely go with the iPhone. I wouldn't even look at this phone, but the cameras on this phone are not bad at all. It just has the occasion to be inconsistent sometimes. But other than that, I like the cameras on this OnePlus 15. I just prefer my iPhone 17 Pro Max, bar none. And then whenever you look at the performance, the OnePlus 15 is the performance king. So the iPhone 17 Pro Max is no slouch, but the OnePlus 15 with this 165 hertz display is crazy. So this OnePlus 15, the 165 hertz display doesn't run very often. It typically runs whenever you are gaming with this device. But whenever you just scroll around the operating system with this phone, it is just so smooth all of the time. And within the settings themselves, I actually set this phone to run at 120 hertz and or 165 hertz. I think I have it set to the high option is what they call it. So screen resolution is high and screen refresh rate is set to high as well, which is my personal preference. If I am buying a phone, I want it to be ran hard and at the best of the best as much as possible. I love that. But yeah, the OnePlus 15, the animations, the smoothness, the butteriness, the RAM usage in the background, it is just so smooth all of the time. You cannot beat a OnePlus device if you are a speed demon. If you are a gamer with that extremely long battery life and that crazy smooth display, it is unbeatable. And one thing about this phone I want to talk about is the cooling on this phone is actually really good. It's a lot better than my OnePlus 13, and my OnePlus 13 didn't really get hot that often, but this phone, I haven't experienced heat at all with it unless I'm using the 100-watt charger, which just heats it up a little bit. But yeah, performance, OnePlus 15, performance is the name of the game with that device. Now with the iPhone, the performance is really good on this phone as well. I will say that liquid glass is beautiful. I love the operating system, the way it looks, the way it operates, and the way you can customize the operating system on this iPhone. But the performance is not as good as I would have hoped with this version of iOS. It's good, but it's not great. You know what I mean? So I hope it does get better. I think it will get better here soon, but right now it's just good. It doesn't feel crazy fast, crazy smooth. It does for an iPhone, you know, with that 120 hertz ProMotion display. But if you are a speed craver, definitely go with the OnePlus 15. For normal people, this phone actually does a pretty good job in terms of performance. So I don't think you'll have a problem with the performance or anything, but it is just going to be better on the OnePlus 15. But it's not going to be bad. It's just Apple iPhones these days aren't performance gangsters. I mean, yes, they are, but the typical operation of your phone is just not going to feel crazy. It's just going to feel very good, very smooth, but definitely not OnePlus smooth and great. So it just works. I don't have any issues with it. So I really like the performance with this device. And one thing about this phone is Apple bragged about it, and it is true. This phone does not heat up at all. The OnePlus 15 doesn't heat up at all, but this phone really doesn't heat up at all. So I love that. They have done a great job with the vapor cooling with this device. And you can tell, this phone versus the other iPhones I've tested, there's no comparison. And let's talk about the little things. The OnePlus 15 has an IR blaster. I absolutely love an IR blaster. This feature is godsend. It is amazing. I love it. I can control any device in my house with this IR blaster, pretty much. I mean, it is just so universal. It just works. You can use it anywhere. I love an IR blaster. I hope that Apple one day sees the value of it and brings it. It is amazing. Once you have an IR blaster, it's very difficult to use any other phone that does not have it. It's got this action button. I've got it set to the AI type feature that OnePlus allows you to use. Get the fake dynamic island there with that. It works okay. I'm not used to it yet. I need to play around with that particular feature. But of course you can go into the settings and adjust and change your action, whatever they call it on here, your action buttons features. And you can do other things with it just like you can on iOS. Oxygen OS on this phone is super fast, super smooth, very customizable. You finally have an always on display that is always on. The iPhones are where you can see your wallpaper. I like that. I like the customization that OnePlus allows you to have with the Oxygen OS. I like all of the icon adjusting, the widgets. OnePlus, they do a pretty good job with customization. It's not Samsung One UI customization, but it's pretty good for what Android allows these days. There's just so much to love and enjoy about this OnePlus 15. And then whenever you look at the iPhone 17 Pro Max, the accessories you can get with an iPhone, the ability for you to use MagSafe. I still don't understand why OnePlus and Samsung and other brands, they don't have magnets built into their phones so you can use MagSafe accessories. Apple has really became the main pursuer of this. Google now does it with Pixel Snap and their Google Pixels, but yeah, I still love MagSafe. I love all of the Apple ecosystem devices, the watches, the iPads, the Apple Pencils, the Macs, all of the above. Apple really does a great job with their accessories, like I mentioned, and the ecosystem. Yes, you can get a lot of stuff. You can get a lot of different hardware with OnePlus, and actually OnePlus, they've come a long way with their watches and their tablets and their earbuds and things like that. But if you want the best of the best, you need to look at your iPhone for the ecosystem. And we have to look at the price here. The OnePlus 15, now this is the 512 gig, 16 gig of RAM model for $1,000 US. It's actually a pretty good deal. And then the iPhone starts with 256 gigs of storage, 12 gigs of RAM, and we're looking at $1,200. But one thing you have to remember, with your iPhone, you get way longer software support. So on the OnePlus, correct me if I'm wrong, guys, is it 3 or 4 years of software updates on this device? But we all know Apple, you're gonna get 7 to 10 years or maybe even longer of software support if you bought this iPhone 17 Pro Max. And then not only that, you will have a phone that has a much higher trade-in value by buying an iPhone, whether you are trading it in or selling it, you would get way more money back with your iPhone than you would get with a OnePlus device. So yeah, guys, let me know down below, what device is your favorite? Who is the true king right now in terms of phones? You know, there's arguably other phones you can bring into this list, but these two are so fun to use. They're so fast, they're so smooth, the cameras are good on them, the audio quality experience is really good with them, the multimedia experience is good, the haptics are good on both, which I didn't really talk about. The software is so polished on both of these phones. Let me know down below, what do you all think? I'm having a great time using both of these phones simultaneously. What an absolute treat by these two manufacturers. But yeah, if you watched this entire video, let me know down below by leaving a comment with an alien emoji, just so I know who the real ones are. But yeah, I appreciate you all for stopping by. Thank you so much for watching me run my mouth about these two phones, and I will see you in the next one. Peace.
As you fade away.